What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. In this police arrest reaction video, we gonna dive into a tense roadside investigation where communication breaks down between the officer and a driver named Summer. But look, things take a whole unexpected turn when emotions run high. Like, stick around to see how it all unfolds and what key lessons we can learn from both sides in situations like these. Let's get right on into it.
Hi, Summer. I'm Officer Lightfoot. I work with the Clearwater Police Department. How are you tonight?
Fine.
Okay, so Sergeant Stiff here was telling me a little bit about what was going on just before he pulled you over. Is everything all right?
Yeah.
Okay. I gotta ask you a couple of questions, but first I'm gonna have you go ahead and take a step out of the car, okay? Okay. Summer, have you had anything to drink today?
No, my mirror touched someone, and that's all that happened.
So from the footage right there, we could really see the officer approach, he approaches Summer, calmly asking standard questions about her evening. But right off the bat, Summer seems disoriented and she really starts focusing heavily on what she, refers to as a mirror incident. Now it's crucial to note how the officer maintains a composed demeanor, you know what I'm saying? Like, while trying to gather all the information that he could gather, this is a classic de-escalation 101 by the cop, ask open-ended questions and establish communication between the individual and the cop, right? But unfortunately, Summer's, fragmented responses suggest either confusion or nervousness, but making it challenging, that makes it challenging for the officer to get a clear picture of the events that unfolded before they had pulled her over. So, in situations like this, like maintaining clarity and communication is vital. Because drivers should answer questions calmly and efficiently, as excessive storytelling can raise red flags. And even if it's unintentionally.
Summer, forgive me, I think we may have disconnected at some point. All I was asking is where you had come from. I'm not really sure what you're talking about when you're referring to your mirror. I don't know what you mean when you say that you and this person have known each other for 3 months. I was just trying to figure out where it was you were coming from. Yes, I'll try and speed up the process a little bit. There is one thing that I'll ask of you. I'm sorry, would you be okay if I just took a look at your eyes for a moment?
The mirror is the only reason that literally driving to my babysitting job where I live. The babysitting and the mirror touched.
Take a look at your eyes for a moment.
I'm trying to.
Summer, let me try and explain this to you, okay? I'm seeing some things that are concerning.
No, I shouldn't be crying right now. But on my way back. Yes, I did accidentally hit my mirror.
Okay.
Well, here's where things start to shift. The officer begins observing what he interprets as, signs of potential impairment, such as erratic speech and emotionally instability. Now, field sobriety tests are often controversial because they rely heavily on, they rely heavily on subjective observations, and that's something to take into consideration. Summer's distress, escalates as she repeatedly basically brings up unrelated points about babysitting and her personal relationships. At this point, she feels overwhelmed, but the officer still needs to assess whether she's fit to drive or not on the road. You get what I'm saying? He still has to address those issues with her. But it's interesting. It's pretty interesting how emotional reactions can sometimes mimic signs of impairment. Police officers are trained to differentiate, understand the difference between the two. But it's not always easy for them, it's not always even easy for the drivers, staying composed and cooperating respectfully, and stuff like that. If you cooperate respectfully, it could prevent misunderstandings.
I'm seeing some things that I think may be signs of impairment, and I'm trying to determine if there's any reason to believe that you are impaired and should not be driving right now, okay? So one of the things that I'd like to do is offer the opportunity to perform some standardized field sobriety exercises, the purpose of which is to help determine your level of impairment. Now, you're under no obligation to participate in these field sobriety exercises. What I'm going to have you do is take a step off the ur, and I'm going to have you stand with your feet together side by side and your hands down by your side for me, okay? You see the tip of my pen right here, Summer?
I'm just ready to go home to my people.
Okay.
Why am I doing this? this right now. Why?
I am not certain. I'm seeing some things that.
No, I shouldn't be crying right now. My boy, I just want to go home. Like,
So as the officer requests a field sobriety test, Summer visibly breaks down saying, I shouldn't be crying right now. But the emotional responses during traffic stops aren't uncommon neither. But Summer's inability to focus raises questions and further concerns for the officer. Eventually she becomes non compliant, forcing the officer to make a difficult decision, placing her under arrest. And notice how the officer gives Summer multiple chances to comply, but when safety becomes a concern, he has to act. This underscores a key takeaway. Compliance doesn't mean quit, it means preserving safety and allowing the legal process to unfold appropriately.
I'm seeing some things that I think may be signs of impairment, and I'm trying to determine if there's any reason to believe that you are impaired and should not be driving right now, okay? So one of the things that I'd like to do is offer the opportunity to perform some standardized field sobriety exercises, the purpose of which is to help determine your level of impairment. Now, you're under no obligation to participate in these field sobriety exercises.
ready to go home to my people.
Okay. Can you put your hands down by your side for me and just try and keep them, okay?
I don't want to do this.
Okay. You can put your hands behind your back for me, okay?
Oh my god, this is really happening right now.
Summer, hey, please
don't.
resist.
Because I cried.
Summer, please don't
Please
resist,
don't do
okay?
this.
I need you to put your hands
Because I
behind you.
cried.
Summer, you're under arrest.
Why? Because I cried.
Okay? But the reason that you've been taken into custody is that I can tell that you've been drinking. Okay?
So the arrest happens when Summer continues to resist the officer, confused as to why she's being detained. But the officer cites her the apparent impairment as the reason why she was detained, although Summer believes it's solely about the mirror incident. But this moment, it highlights the importance of clear communication from both parties to avoid any type of escalation with anything, and at the end of the day, bro, this situation shows the fine line officers, walk, between, assessing impairment and managing, emotional responses. For viewers, the key takeaway is simple, stay calm and communicate clearly and understand your rights while respecting law. Lawful instructions. You gotta understand your rights during those type of things. If you found this breakdown insightful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more police reaction content with a focus on education and understanding. But I really want to know, what are y'all thoughts on this situation? Was it handled right? Drop a comment below and let me know. Let me know what y'all think about the whole situation and how the situation had unfolded.